As Americans, we each have a different individualized belief of what the American dream is because we each have different dreams. For most, though, people are looking for some sort of success. For my project, I watched and analyzed the film The Pursuit of Happyness, directed by Gabrielle Musino, which is commonly thought of as a classic depiction of the American dream. The film is based on a true life story of a man named Chris Gardner, who had a one-year struggle with homelessness in America in the 1980s. After a poor business investment, coupled with his wife leaving him and his 5-year-old son, Gardner's world seems to hit rock bottom, as he is broke, evicted from his house, and unemployed. After a couple weeks, he receives an unpaid internship with a stockbroking company, where only one of 20 interns will receive a job at the end of 4 months. Fighting for his and his son's life, he works harder than any of the other interns, and after 4 grueling months, the presidents of the company reward him with a job as an official stockbroker. My argument for this project is that this film shows us that in order to achieve true success, Americans must face a journey filled with hard work. This film is the epitome of the American dream because it celebrates the classic pulling yourself up by the bootstraps ideology by presenting how the pursuit of a person's dream with hard work and overcoming struggle will lead them to happiness. One current issue depicted in the film is the issue of a college education. Even though Chris Gardner is extremely intelligent, he never went to college because of money. In today's world, the necessity of a college education is becoming more and more questioned. Only 50% of Americans think college adequately prepares students for the real world, and 75% have difficulty paying for college. We've even discussed in class if college really pays off as much as we think it should. Our parents all sent us to college in order for us to be set up for success in the future because the message has been pressed into our heads that if you don't go to college, you won't be successful. We all generally believe that college is necessary in order to achieve the American dream. However, this film proves otherwise and shows that the American dream is not just for those who can pay for college or who are smart enough to go to college. The American dream is for those who have will and determination to work hard and for those who take advantage of America's opportunities. Chris Gardner literally had nothing, and yet he found a way to follow his dreams. The film also presents how both happiness and success are heavily incorporated into the American dream. However, this film shows that happiness and success are not interchangeable. Americans do not only achieve happiness when becoming successful, but achieve it throughout the journey to success. In the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson wrote that as Americans, we are entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We are entitled to the pursuit of happiness, not just happiness. America will give us all it has to offer, but it is up to us as Americans whether or not to pursue the opportunities and find our own individualized happiness. The word pursuit is very important because I am arguing that within this pursuit there must be hard work in order to overcome some sort of struggle or adversity. This is what will lead people to true happiness. Those who have success dropped in their lap have not achieved the American dream and do not appreciate the success as those who work hard for it do. Also within my research paper, I compared The Pursuit of Happyness with 2 other films that depict the American dream differently. It's a Wonderful Life depicts the old-school white picket fence version of the American dream, while Wall Street shows us how the American dream can oftentimes be represented as a pursuit for money and fame. It's a Wonderful Life is a classic 1940s film about a man, George Bailey, who is about to commit suicide until an angel rescues him and makes him realize what a great life he actually has. The film portrays the white picket fence ideology by heavily focusing on religion, family, and community for happiness. For example, in the first scene of the film, prayers are being shouted out by the townspeople for the well-being of Bailey. Religion continues to be portrayed throughout the film, whether the family goes to church together or prays before dinner. Also, a sense of family and community is very strong in the film. In fact, the community almost seems like a big family. At the end of the film, when Bailey's business is about to go bankrupt, the community donates $20,000 in order for Bailey to continue his business. Within the pulling yourself up by the bootstraps ideology today, most Americans take their happiness and success into their own hands. In the 1940s, though, many Americans put trust in their faith and in their communities to find success and happiness, which I believe is very different from Americans today. The other film, Wall Street, is about the downfall of a man named Bud Fox because of his desire for money, fame, and success. Fox immorally and illegally built his way to the top of his stockbroker company in order to be successful. However, the artificial success comes crashing down once the police arrest Fox for insider trading and throw him into jail. This film exemplifies a greed and money interpretation of the American dream, which Americans are constantly overwhelmed by. Oftentimes, Americans directly relate the American dream with the pursuit for money and not the pursuit of happiness. Money can blind Americans because of how much it is incorporated into our culture. When greed overpowers the pursuit for happiness, this type of American dream will lead to the downfall of a person as it did for Bud Fox. When Americans become too greedy and only see more money as success, nothing becomes enough. They will always want more and will always be willing to do anything to get more, and therefore will never feel truly successful. As Americans, we each have a different take on what we think the American dream is. Cinema can be a very influential way of presenting different types of the American dream because of how our culture is impacted by films. Cinema can show us how the American dream is good, but it can also show us how the American dream can be corrupt. After watching the 3 movies, I found The Pursuit of Happyness to be the most beneficial. We don't live in the 1940s anymore. We are more independent and don't expect our lives to be perfect. Most of us also realize that money isn't everything, and if we're blinded by money, we probably aren't going to find true happiness and success. The idea of the American dream can often be abstract and therefore unrelatable. However, The Pursuit of Happyness gives us a concrete visual of how any man living in America can pursue the American dream